Just a couple of short stories, especially as a nice segue from Andrew. Many years ago, I heard the story of an incident with Meals on Wheels, and it really brings home to the fact that often we do things and think, does anyone actually notice what I do? Anyway, one day the manager of Meals on Wheels service was going through his records, and he found this records relating to an older man who lived alone, and every day without fail, he ordered fish for lunch. And this manager was getting a bit worried. He thought, you know, this guy's got to have a more balanced diet. He just can't eat fish every day, as good as it is for you. I wonder if he actually knows that there's another menu available. So he thought, oh, I'll go and visit this older man and see if he's okay, that he does know that he's got choices. So the manager went along, knocked on the door, and he said to the older man, answered the door, he said, oh yeah, he said, oh well, I'm the manager of Meals on Wheels. I'd just like to ask you, are you aware that we have a menu that you can choose from that, I notice you order fish every day? And the guy said, oh yeah, I do. He said, well, why do you order the same meal every day? And the guy said, well, it's the only food the cat will eat. And the manager said, why are you ordering meals from us when you can provide your own meals and you're feeding it to the cat? He said, because the meals come with people. And you visit me every day, and that's my only visit. And that's when people realise the value of volunteering, that it's the connection we make. And the other story about Meals on Wheels is, it was my first foray into volunteering was Meals on Wheels. I was a mum at home with 3 babies under 3, going mental, and thought, how do I get out of this house with 3 babies and do something useful? And I discovered Meals on Wheels. I think I lasted about 5 weeks and then got the sack. Because when I turned up at a home of a lonely old person with 3 babies, I could not get out. So my lunch run ended about 6 o'clock in the evening. Boy, did we get some nice presents. My kids thought it was Christmas every day, coming home with lollies and cakes and toys, and it just made me realise that there's another world out there that I just did not know about. People without families, without visitors, and the joy of having someone turn up with 3 babies was just beyond measurement for them. And another story, quickly. I was talking to a manager of a home, an aged care service facility recently, and she said, I've got a really good story about a volunteer. This young woman has been coming as a volunteer to our retirement village nursing home for many years, and during that time she had a baby. And after the baby arrived, the nursing home residents were queued up at the door waiting for the baby to come each day as a volunteer. So much so that when the young woman got married, all the residents were guests at the wedding, and the wedding took place at the facility. And in light of Andrew's experience with Neighbour Day, we moved from the country to a place called Potts Point. Now, most of you would know Potts Point. It has the highest density population in Australia. And of course we weren't living on a half-acre block, were we? We were living in an apartment, and it was an apartment of about 14, and it did have space in a common area at the back. And we said to the permanent residents, we were only renters at the time, we said to the permanent residents, so what are you doing at Christmas? And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, can we have a street party? And they said, we live in Chalice Avenue. It's a one lane, how do you have a street party in a 1-lane road in Potts Point? And I said, yeah, but you've got a common area at the back. Can't we use that? So they said, oh, I hadn't thought of that. So we had a street party in the back courtyard, and we've not lived in those apartments for over 7 years, and the street party's still happening at Christmas. So don't think because you live in an apartment you can't have a street party. You just got to redefine what a street is. So with that, whoa, look at this young person here, isn't she beautiful? I have great pleasure now in introducing Alexandra, commonly known as Lexi, Duncan, no relation to Paula, much. With an auntie like Paula, how could you not be in the show business, Lexi? Lexi's 13 and is in Year 8 at Loreto Kirribilli, Lexi made her professional debut as Jane Banks in Mary Poppins. Woohoo! And continued to demonstrate her passion for musical theatre as she was cast in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang last year and enjoyed a return to the Capitol Theatre. So performing has to be in the blood with an auntie like Paula. And do you also know Carmen, Paula's sister, Carmen Duncan? Yay! So, I hope, Lexi, have you? And of course, she would not be here without the support of a loving family. Where's Trish? There she is, Mum. And Dad.
Warren.
Hello, Warren. He just pays the bills. And Paul's brother. So thank you, parents, because children cannot do without what they do without parents like that. So can I please welcome Lexi to the stage to do her bit. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm going to do my first song is Imagine, the John Lennon classic, and then I'll talk a bit more after that.
Have you organised music for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Kristen's in charge.
Ready, Mr. Music?
Stand there, is he?
Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Hi again. I'm really honoured to be here today. I think volunteering is just so inspiring, and I just started volunteering at James Milson down the road, and I know how great you feel after go seeing and helping someone without getting anything. You just get that great satisfaction. So it's really nice, and I'm really happy to be here, and I hope you enjoyed that. And I've got one more song to sing, and it's called Anything Can Happen, and without your help, anything can happen.
Or with your help.
Well, with your help. Same thing, whatever. Anything can happen if you let it. Sometimes things are difficult, but you can bet it doesn't have to be so. Changes can be made. You can move a mountain if you use a larger spade. Anything can and choose the super or the superficial. Sally for the way we're steering. Obstacles start disappearing. Go and chase your dreams, you won't regret it. Anything can happen, anything can happen, anything can happen if you Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Wow, how embarrassing. How can you be like that at that age? When my kids were little, they used to say, "Don't sing, Mum." Lexi's kids are never going to say that to her. Keep singing, Lexi. That was fantastic. And thank you for being probably our youngest volunteer here this evening. Now, don't be light-hearted and getting tired because you've been standing up. Please shuffle around, sit down if you can find a seat. Please stay and mingle and talk to each other. And please be reminded, this is your evening. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being a volunteer. Don't forget to nominate your friends or your team to the awards. And thank you so much for coming.